Imagine a life hanging by a thread, every breath labored, every moment a battle against time. Now, picture Elon Musk, not in a boardroom or launching rockets, but standing in the middle of a high-stakes medical crisis. The patient, a man consumed by anger and mistrust, refusing help from the very person who might be his last hope. What follows is a gripping tale of determination, resilience, and the human spirit. Elon doesn't just have to fight against time. He has to break through walls of prejudice and anger to save a life. This is the story of an extraordinary act of compassion that will make you question the true meaning of humanity. Stick around. What unfolds will leave you breathless. Elon Musk was no stranger to high-pressure situations. From launching rockets to revolutionizing transportation, he thrived under stress. But today was different. He wasn't at a Tesla factory or SpaceX headquarters. Instead, he stood at the bedside of Mr. Walter Green, a 52-year-old hypertensive patient who had collapsed at work. Musk had come to visit St. Mary's Medical Center in Chicago as part of a philanthropic effort, where he was shadowing doctors and observing the healthcare challenges firsthand. Walter lay on the hospital bed, pale and struggling to breathe, yet his fiery eyes betrayed his defiant spirit. Elon, dressed casually but with his usual air of confidence, approached the patient's side, curious about the man's condition. "Mr. Green, I hear you're a fighter," Elon began, his voice calm and even. Walter weakly waved him off. "I don't need a lecture from some billionaire," he muttered. Elon chuckled lightly. "Fair enough. I'm not here to lecture, just to see if I can help." Walter's eyes narrowed, suspicious. "Help? From someone like you? A guy who sends rockets to space for fun? You people have no idea what it's like down here in the real world." Elon raised an eyebrow but kept his tone composed. "Well, I might not have walked in your shoes, but I do understand pressure. And right now, it looks like your body is under a lot of it." Walter glared at him. "Are you one of those Elon Musk fans who thinks you can fix everything? Or maybe you think you're some kind of hero?" Elon leaned in slightly, his expression softening. "I'm just someone who believes in solving problems. And right now, the problem is your health." The tension in the room was thick. Walter, consumed by a mix of anger and suspicion, suddenly said, "You know, I bet you're one of those people who admires Donald Trump." "Figures." Elon paused, caught off guard by the abrupt political jab. He smiled faintly and replied, "Politics doesn't matter right now. Your health does. Let's focus on that." Walter's face flushed with anger. "Get out. I don't want someone like you anywhere near me." His breathing grew more labored as the monitors beeped faster. Elon exchanged a glance with Nurse Sarah, who stood nearby, concerned. "He's not stable," she whispered. Elon nodded and stepped closer to Walter. "Listen, I don't care what you think of me, but your life is at stake. You can hate me all you want, but let's get you through this first." Walter shook his head weakly. "I don't want your help." "Fine," Elon said, his voice calm but firm. "You don't have to want it. But right now, your body is shutting down. And if we don't act, there won't be anyone left to argue with." Before Walter could respond, his body convulsed, and the monitors blared. "Code Blue," shouted Nurse Sarah. Without hesitation, Elon grabbed the defibrillator, his problem-solving instincts kicking in. "Clear," he shouted as Walter's body jolted with the current. The room was silent for a moment before the monitor steadied into a rhythmic pulse. Walter lay unconscious but alive. Elon stepped back, exhaling deeply as Nurse Sarah murmured, "You didn't have to stay. You could have walked away." Elon shook his head. Walking away wasn't an option. When Walter regained consciousness hours later, his voice was barely a whisper. You're still here. Why didn't you leave?" Elon pulled up a chair beside the bed, his expression calm and empathetic. "Because it wasn't about me. It was about saving your life. Whether you liked me or not didn't matter." Walter turned his head, guilt and humility washing over him. "I let my anger get the better of me. I could have died because of it." Elon nodded, his tone measured but kind. "Anger can be a powerful thing, Mr. Green. It clouds judgment and makes us forget what's really important. You got a second chance today. Not everyone gets that. Walter stared at the ceiling, the weight of Elon's words sinking in. His anger and bitterness had nearly cost him his life. "I've been so angry for so long," he whispered. Elon leaned forward. "Anger is a heavy burden, but it's never too late to let it go. Focus on what matters, your health, your future. Use this second chance to make things better." Walter nodded slowly, his hardened expression softening. For the first time in years, he felt the possibility of change. As Elon left the room, Nurse Sarah caught up with him. "Not bad for a billionaire," she said with a small smile. Elon shrugged. Sometimes, solving problems means starting with the human ones.